Murder at Ocean View College, Chapter 4, In Duplicating. The duplicating room was buzzing with activity. There was a long line of teachers and student helpers waiting to use the photocopy machine. Danny stopped in front of Coach Kelly, who was at the end of the line. The coach was carrying his clipboard, as usual, and had stuck a shiny blue pencil through the graying hair above his ear. He was wearing a gold jacket with Coach Kelly printed on the breast pocket. "Hi, Coach. Ready for the new season?" "It's a pretty good team, Danny, but I wish you would change your mind and go out for football this year." Danny shrugged. "You know I'd love to, but I have to concentrate on my classes. When I play football, my grades suffer. I can't seem to think of anything but football." Coach Kelly smiled and put his hand on Danny's shoulder. "Well, if you ever change your mind, let me know." Danny excused himself and broke through the line to reach the counter. There was Amber Jones. She was smiling brightly up at Danny. He took a quick look at her and saw a familiar face and figure that he usually tried to avoid. He tried to smile. Amber was tall and had broad football shoulders. Her hair was long and dark and teased high on top of her head. There were 3 white stripes in her hair, running from the front to the back of her head, and there was a little white bow peeking out on the top. She wore very large silver hoop earrings and had a tattoo of a snake wrapped around her wrist. The snake's tongue was long and pointed. Amber's short fingernails were painted dark green and matched the green paint above her eyes. Her lipstick was the color of an overripe avocado. Danny took a deep breath. "Hey, Danny, what's up?" "Hey, Amber, I came to pick up some flyers Captain Mitchell wanted photocopied. Is the order ready?" Amber turned her head to the side and lowered her lashes. "Let me check on that," she almost whispered, and gave his hand a little pat, making the snake dance on her wrist. She turned away for the order. Danny made a face and wiped his hand where she had touched him. She was the same old Amber who had been chasing him since high school, when he was a wilder type of guy, often on the edge of trouble. Amber didn't seem to understand that he wore a uniform these days, a police officer's uniform. She returned with a large pile of white paper. There was a blue sheet that the duplicating office always put on each order to identify the lot, the person who ordered it, and the person who picked it up. This was for their office records. Amber spoke brightly. "Oh, these are the flyers asking for anyone with information about the murder to speak up. Isn't that kind of dumb? Do you think anyone is actually going to tell the cops anything? I mean, like, even if they knew something?" "Maybe not," Danny said. "The captain is trying to cover all the bases." "Speaking of bases, that reminds me. You going to the game, Danny?" "I'm going to try. But with a murder investigation here on campus, Captain Mitchell is keeping us all pretty busy. Jade and I are both putting in extra hours." At the mention of Jade's name, Amber's eyes turned cold, and she bit her lip. Then she spoke again. "Well, it is the first football game of the season. Everybody's going." She paused. "By the way, is there anything new in the investigation? I heard that Mr. Taylor did it, from the math department. You know, her boyfriend." "I haven't heard that. You know, Amber, I can't talk about the case. But hey, maybe I'll see you at the game." The smile returned to her face before Danny nodded and turned to leave the room. At the door, he turned back to Amber and said, "By the way, Amber, there are no bases in football. Bases are for baseball." Amber's smile fell from her lips. As Danny walked out, he saw Coach Kelly biting his lip to keep from laughing.